Hi, everybody. On behalf of Access to Integrative Medicine Health Institute and the GW Office of Integrative Medicine and Health, welcome to A Mindfulness Experience. AIM is a nonprofit organization with the mission to provide vulnerable and low-income communities with access to whole person health and wellness. The GW Office of Integrative Medicine and Health promotes integrative medicine by providing learning opportunities to healthcare professionals and healthcare consumers. Today's facilitators are Kiersten Gallagher and Robin Carnes. Kiersten, who will be facilitating our wellness discussion, has served as the Cancer Support Program Director for Smith Center since 2014. She's played a seminal role in the cultivation of programming to reduce stress and assist participants in recognizing and embracing different perspectives of seeing and experiencing the world. Robin, who will be facilitating our mindfulness practice, is a certified yoga therapist, IRS meditation teacher, and Qigong flow teacher. She's the co-founder of Warriors at Ease, which has trained over 1,500 yoga teachers to teach safely and effectively in military communities. She also recently co-founded COVID Resilience, which supports organizations and their essential employees to meet the challenges of the global pandemic. Kiersten, I'll hand it over to you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having me. I'd like to especially thank Janet for reaching out to Smith Center. We're always happy to jump in and be a part of these collaborations with our community partners. So thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm not usually a PowerPoint person, but I thought it would keep me on track with the short time that I have. And hopefully it will be helpful to you as well. So I'm here today to talk about creative expression and healing. And I just love these images. And what they tell me really, and I'm hoping that they speak to you, is that you can really find creativity anywhere, right? If you look, it's there, and we just need to pay attention. So as mentioned, I'm the Smith Center Program Director. Here's just a little bit about me. I've been working in integrative cancer care for many years. Before that, I owned my own wellness center in Marblehead, Massachusetts. So I've been at this for a while. I'm also a certified herbalist from like early 1990s. This has been my life, integrative care. I currently facilitate several programs, including yoga, visual and expressive arts, a monthly book club, and I run grieving healing circles for people who have lost a loved one. I'm also a mom, a wife, a daughter, sister, a dog mom to two furry friends, Pablo and Beans, and Chip the turtle. So today's objectives, I thought we'd breathe together just to get centered. We'd look at creativity as a tool for healing. We would do a short writing practice. So I'm going to ask everybody to make sure you just have a pen or a pencil, whatever you prefer writing with, or even your laptop is fine, and a piece of paper if you're going that route. And then we'll have a little bit of time for reflections. So let's just all take a moment. I'm going to ask everybody, if you're comfortable, to go ahead and close your eyes gently. And we'll just come together and pause. We've all had very busy mornings and we have afternoon plans. So I'd like for this just to be an invitation to come to the present moment and to really fully enjoy our time together. If you're not okay with closing your eyes, it's perfectly fine just to have a soft gaze down towards your lap. We'll just be here for a couple moments. So I'm going to ask, as you sit in your chair, to lengthen your spine just a little bit. So we're going to really focus on our feet on the floor and the grounding of our buttocks in our seat, as we also lift and reach the crown of the head towards the sky. So there's this nice length. And then I'd love for you to soften your belly. And then I've taught breath work for a long time, and what I'm focusing on most lately is to really send out the invitation to take a few breaths that soothe you. So not really teaching to breathe a really long breath or hold it in or do any of those other lessons, but more so to invite you to take a few breaths that feel really good to you. So that could vary in length. That could include a sigh. That could be breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Whatever is going to make you feel yummy. And then I'm going to go ahead and ask you to allow your breath just to come to a natural rhythm. And I'm going to ask you to find a spot in your body that needs a little bit more of an invitation to relax and be calm. So we all tend to have a spot in the body or a couple spots in the body that hold tension. So I usually speak to that area of my body. Maybe it's my shoulders, maybe my jaw feels a little bit tight. Maybe for some reason I'm gripping my toes. So just find one spot. And on your next exhale, really focus that exhale and that release to that one area of tension. And we'll be nice and gentle, and maybe it takes a couple of breaths. And then I'm going to ask that you go ahead and bring your hands to your heart. I think one of the most beautiful messages that can be shared in this community is that none of us ever have to feel like we're alone. So I just want you to hold that thought close to your heart. And then whenever you're ready, we'll go ahead and lower the hands down, and we can go ahead and gently open our eyes. So hopefully that helped you feel a little bit more centered and a little bit more present. And we can begin to talk about why creativity is important. So William Plomer says creativity is the power to connect to the seemingly unconnected. And in looking at studies that show how creativity affects us, one of the most fascinating things that I have uncovered is that creativity and the arts can be anything really, right? And you don't even have to do the creative thing. You can just talk about it, or you can hear about it, or you can look at art in a gallery. Creativity can be knitting, it can be quilting, it could be painting, finger painting, writing, it could be any of these things. And one of the things that I hear over and over again at Smith Center is, oh, I'm not an artist, right? Or I'm not a good writer, right? We call those preambles in my writing groups, no preambles, right? And I just want to invite you to, just for a moment, just think about possibly being that artist, or possibly being that writer, or possibly being a really fantastic knitter. My knitting circle at Smith Center taught me how to knit. I never in a million years thought I would knit, and I've knit a couple sweaters. So like you can learn new creative ways, and they're really enjoyable. Some of the things that creativity and arts can do is relax and help you feel calmer and happier. It helps you express thoughts and emotions that can be really hard to put into words. I see that over and over again. We work with a lot of people with cancer, and they're tired of talking sometimes, or they just need another way to express themselves. And I've had so many people say, oh my gosh, like just being in this art class for an hour and a half, I've been trying to solve this problem, or I've been trying to process this, and I have a new perspective, which is another one on the list. If you go to the bottom one, it's shift your perspective from pain or stressful thoughts to calm, peace, and joy. It helps with coping with grief and loss, lower stress and anxiety. It helps you connect with yourself on a deeper level. It helps you find meaning in life experiences, and it helps you form new connections with others. So I always say that being creative in a group is really, really special. Today, we're going to focus on expressive writing, and numerous studies hold that expressive writing is a useful tool to take care of the person as a whole. It gives voice to emotions, moods, and intimate thoughts of patients, as well as caregivers and family members. So at Smith Center, we really, really believe that it's important that everybody in the household or in the family participates in our programming. Pennebaker's theory, who I got to hang out with last week, he did a talk for us on expressive writing, actually. His theory from 2004, which posits that expressing our deeper thoughts and feelings can result in significant health benefits in the short and long term. Studies over the last 25 years have shown expressive writing that is simple writing on deeper thoughts and emotional sensations is a useful tool to alleviate both physical and psychological symptoms. I was blown away by Jamie Pennebaker, and I highly recommend that you take a look at his work. He's quite an extraordinary man. I found that his work has been so profound, and yet he was so accessible and really beautiful person to talk to. So today, what I'd love to do is take a little bit of time to do a 10-minute writing practice. And I thought we could write about where we find joy. So this is how it's going to work. And I know this works because I do it with a couple different groups at Smith Center. My favorite group that I'm working with right now, I shouldn't say I have favorites, but I do have favorites in this case. I work with young adults with cancer, and we have a program called SC Writes. And what we do is we pick a topic for 4 weeks, and we have subtopics each week, sub-themes. And we talk a little bit about the theme, and then we share a couple writing prompts, which I'm going to do today. And then we send them off, usually for about 25-30 minutes. And then they write, and then we invite them back, and they share their writing with one another. It has built and developed such great, rich, deep relationships and trust. And I finish the session every time, and I'm like, I can't believe that just happened. Like it's just beautiful and amazing. And they go off and they write these incredible stories and poems or prose, and they just listen to one another. And they're not allowed to respond like, oh, your writing was great, or they can't talk about grammar and writing format. They really just share in response how their writing resonated with them. And it's truly extraordinary. Not only is it a gift that they're sharing their writing, but it's also a gift that they're such attentive listeners. So I'm not going to ask you all to read your writing. We don't have time for that. But I'm going to send you off for about 8 to 10 minutes. And when we come back, we could share a couple lines if you'd like from your writing, or we could just share how the experience was for you. So The first one is Juliet Fay. She says, joy seeps into my bones, flooding the marrow, tickling the cells until a slow, wide smile spreads across my face. And then the second prompt, and maybe one of these inspire you, and if they do, awesome. And if they don't, I just welcome you to write about where you find joy. Mary Oliver, she's one of my favorites, says, what I want in my life is to be willing to be dazzled, to cast aside the weight of facts, and maybe even to float a little above this difficult world. So I'm going to invite you to go on mute, turn off your video if you'd like. I'm going to give you a couple minutes, a warning when we have just 2 minutes left, and then I'll ask you to come back on. So I'll leave this screen up so you can look at the prompts if you'd like, and then we'll meet back here in a few minutes. Thanks. Okay, everybody, we have about 2 more minutes. So I'm going to ask for you to begin to wrap it up. And the beauty of being at home is that you can always continue to write. Hey, everybody. That time goes by really quickly, but I'm going to ask for you all to come back. And I want to just open up the floor. We don't have a whole lot of time, but if a few people want to maybe volunteer and share your experience, how that made you feel to just take a little bit of time to write. And the other question I thought that I would just share with you and allow you to reflect on either now or when we leave one another is, can you find one creative practice to do every day? And it doesn't have to be long. And like I said, you don't even have to be the doer. You can observe art and creativity. You can talk about it. But if we can just incorporate a little bit of creativity into our day, it really does make a difference. So I see a couple people have their hand raised. Nadia, I see that you've raised your hand.
Do you want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
You're who's up on my screen.
Okay. I find joy in the color pink. It shouts, it's relentlessly cheerful. It grabs you by the hand and says, let's go. It makes me glow with energy. Thank God my pajamas are gray. Otherwise, I'd never fall asleep.
Love it. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And how about, I'm not seeing your name pop up, but I see somebody with their hand up as well. Maybe
Jada?
It's Jada. There you are. Yeah. Now your name's come up.
Okay. My joy is always here inside of me, waiting with bated breath for my acknowledgement and acceptance, so she can dance through me on my behalf. The end.
Beautiful. Bravo. Thank you so much. Anybody else want to share? And again, you do not have to read what you've written. You can also just talk about what it felt like to go away and write for a few minutes. Monica, I see your hand raised.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm actually a 5-year cancer survivor, and I have felt writing to be very therapeutic. And I love this exercise because I love the prompt and the fact that we were given a short amount of time, because it really made me zero in on joy and just think about how, joy actually finds me if I'm willing to see it and acknowledge it. It was a very sort of positive, calming experience. And I was amazed at how much I could write in that short amount of time, something really deep and meaningful. So thank you very much.
Monica, thank you so much. And you bring up a really good point. I think that one of the reasons that I come away from the writing groups that I facilitate in just this mode of awe and wonder is that they do have a certain amount of time, right? Which you mentioned, you had a short amount of time. And also when there's a prompt and a focus, it really kind of invites you to hone in and leave all of the other stuff behind, right? So you really need to take a look at joy, and the three of you sharing really, are a testament to that. Really beautiful. I don't want to take up too much time. Is there anyone who just is itching to say something? And otherwise, I'm just gonna show you how you can connect with Smith Center. I don't see anybody else raising their hand. Okay, terrific. Well, this has been a pleasure. All of you are welcome to join us at Smith Center for Healing and the Arts anytime. You do not have to have cancer to come to Smith Center for Healing and the Arts. We do have cancer-specific programming, but it's very clear in our calendar what would be for cancer patients and caregivers, and what is open to everybody else. So I only included the creativity programs in this slide, but I wanted to give you an idea by looking at this list, the different kinds of creativity programs that we offer. And a lot of these are ongoing regularly each month. So with that, I'm gonna stop sharing. And I wanna thank you so much for having me. And you can call me or email me at Kiersten@smithcenter.org. Janet is going to send my information to you, and the website at Smith Center, smithcenter.org. So I'm privileged to be here with Robin. I'll hand it over to you, and thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, Kiersten. I'm so happy to meet you. I've gotten your email, Smith Center emails for years. So I thought I would share some practice with you today that really gives me a lot of joy. I taught yoga for many years, and I have great respect for yoga, but about 15 years ago, I came across, starting 15 years ago, and I've had multiple teachers, something called Qigong. So it's spelled Qi-Gong, and it's a thousands of year old tradition from China, just like yoga is a thousands of year old tradition from India. So, an appreciation from the roots of this practice. Qi means life force. Just like we can't see the electricity that runs through our house and keeps our lights on and allows us to be seeing each other and, and hearing each other right now. Qi is something that's invisible, but very, very palpable when you learn to sense it. Just like you could palpate electricity, you wouldn't want to, but you could. So Qi means life force, energy, and Gong means work or skills. Qi runs in networks through our bodies that are like rivers. Networks of rivers is a good way to put it. Those networks of rivers are called meridians. And if you've ever had acupuncture, this is a sister craft, sister science, sister art to acupuncture. And in many ways, practicing Qigong is like giving yourself an acupuncture treatment so that the flow of Qi through your body can be optimal for your health. And our bodies know how to bring us into better and better balance when we give them the chance with, even definitely in exercise and creativity like Kiersten just led. as well as, of course, more mind body type of exercises. So where Qi is blocked or the flow is lessened is where we will start to feel, especially if it's over time, we'll start to feel pain. We can develop, serious health conditions. So with Qigong, we're basically opening up our system like a pipeline so that the life force can move through us and out of us, through us and out of us, through us and out of us all the time, so that we can have optimal vitality, longevity, mental and physical health. So Qigong is very seasonal, and it helps us attune to nature and that we are nature, and that that our bodies are going through certain seasons along with nature. And so today we're going to focus a little bit on, we're in fall, and that is the focus on the lung and the immune system. So as we begin, don't do anything that hurts. You can sit and do any of these practices. I'm going to stand up. So just do them in a way that brings the most ease to you. It's ease, not precision or vigor, that brings the most benefit in Qigong. There's a great principle in Qigong called underdoing. So can you guys see and hear me? Oh, I can see that you cannot see and hear. You cannot see me against that backdrop. So I'm going to move here and see if this works better now. My camera doesn't seem to have that weird thing going on. Can you guys see me? Yes. All right. So if you feel comfortable standing up, great. If you don't, you can, sorry, got to get myself situated here. All right, so come with if you're not seated, which you can be to adapt, with your feet about shoulder width apart, and as if you were sitting on a stool, slightly bend your knees, a high stool. Drop your tailbone down. Don't tuck your tailbone forward. Just drop it down to lessen a little bit the curve of your lower back. And then bring your hands. This is called Fuji posture. And end practice with this Fuji posture, like we're rounded like a pipe, like that is an open conduit for life force to move through us. So our armpits are open. We lift the back of our head just a little bit and our chin comes back. So as we go through this exercise, don't do anything that hurts. Gentle is the key to Qi moving and flowing through us. All right. So with an inner smile of kindness to wherever our body, our spirits, and our emotions are right in this moment, and this sense of all being on the same team with our own bodies, let's begin to let our arms be very soft, like cooked spaghetti, and swinging side to side. The movement originates at the waist. And the waist initiates the movement and the rest of the body just follows. So we tend to hold a lot of stagnant Qi, as it's called, like Qi that's not flowing through in the form of stress along our spine. So we want to just very gently twist the spine to release stagnant or old Qi that's we no longer need and make room for fresh life force to come in. And now bend your elbow. You still have very loose arms. You're just bending your elbow and you're tapping at your lungs. So this helps move old Qi and congestion out of your lungs, supports your immune function. Breathe nice and gentle. And in the back, bend your elbow a little bit more and tap just above the waist on either side of the spine. That taps your kidney meridian. In winter, we move more into a focus on the kidneys. In fall, we're really supporting the health of the lungs and our immune function as we go into winter. All right, and slow that down. We just keep track of the time here. All right, so we're going to move into some tapping. Tapping is a wonderful part of Qigong, and tapping helps like basically take out the old Qi, flush the old Qi out of the system, again, to make new room for new, so there can be a flow of Qi. So let's support our lungs by tapping up here, right in this soft area. Here's my shoulder bone. Now there's the shoulder's nest right in that little soft place there, and I'm tapping with a soft fist, and I'm going to tap down the insides of the arms. This is the lung meridian, the lung river of Qi, to the thumb where it ends, and then up the back of, and then tap here just on the other side of the, so kind of onto your back body there. Let's do that one more time, starting here in the shoulder's nest, just inside the joint, and tapping down the inside. As you do this, you might want to breathe a cleansing breath. So inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Other side, tapping here in the shoulder's nest. Down the inside of the arm to the thumb. Up the outside of the arm. Over here to the back and inside. Shoulders nest down the inside of the arm. You can tap with a flat hand or soft fist, whatever feels better. It shouldn't hurt. If it hurts, do it softer. And then to the back, and then here we go here. Now take your hands like little claws, okay? And you're going to tap right under, so right under the breast. Fingertips are tapping the lower ribs, the floating ribs. And you're here going to do that cleansing breath too. Inhale through the nose. Well, imagine like smoky gray old Qi leaving through the mouth. And the side ribs. Beautiful. Now, we're going to just take the fingers and either tap from the hairline back to the base of the skull or comb. This is called 10 dragons run through the forest. Comb, to just comb out any kind of worry or extra thinking or obsessing we might have been doing over something, and just releasing all of that. And here you can also do that cleansing breath. And then finally, there's a zillion different taps you can do in Qigong, and they feel so exhilarating. They help clear out the system and also activate the life force flow. So here on your right side, so I'm not going to be mirroring you on this part. You're going to start in the right side of the belly, not on the bone here of your hip, but on the just inside that bone, and go up and around. This helps the metabolism, helps the digestion, gut health, we know is super important to our immune functioning. So tapping around in a circle, up the right and down the left. Letting go of that smoky old gray Qi out of your intestines. Your large intestine is the paired organ with the lung and fall. You don't have to think about what it's letting go of. Just know it's like, you know, putting your trash bag out on the curb. It's going away. And just below the navel. And now we're going to tap here just below the navel and at the deepest curve of the lower back like this. And we're going to pump the legs as we do that, nice and gentle. If this does not feel good to you, you can adapt it. Please do. Don't do anything that hurts. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Excellent. All right, so take a moment, sense and feel your system. Notice any shifts or changes, vibrations, pulsations, any kind of vibration, pulsation, heat. She is moving, all right? And let's go into a fantastic kind of all-purpose movement called Shake the Tree. So when many mammals, and we are mammals, get a scare or a fright and go into fight flight, whether it's, you know, a scare like, you know, some sort of serious health condition, and rupture or break in a important relationship with us, for us, or the pandemic itself, right? At some level, our system, our nervous system recognizes that as a threat. The body will go into fight flight and produce cortisol, adrenaline, and other stress hormones. But when mammals are over the immediate threat, if you have a dog around your house or a zebra or a horse, you'll see that what they do once they're safe again is shake. And this shaking helps, you can do the cleansing breath here too, helps flush out those stress hormones when they're no longer needed, and helps reset our nervous system to rest and digest. And let's add a little bit of humming here. So you could hum right into your lungs. The humming brings in more nitric oxide, also good for our immune function. Pump the wrists. Really playful and easy. Now direct that hum down to your gut to help your gut health. One more breath of the humming. Everything loose on the bone, jiggly and wiggly. Slow it down. Notice sensation, feel, sense, vibration, pulsation, heat, breath moving. The word for breath and Qi are the same in Chinese and in Sanskrit. So the breath intimately connected to our energy and to our nervous system. Now inhale and exhale, draw down like a French press coffee maker. Help settle the energy down into the lower body. Release all the stagnant Qi right out the soles of our feet and make room and draw down fresh life force energy. Tuning in, sensing, feeling. Now bring your feet a little closer. We're going to do something called spinal cord breath. So we're going to bring our hands like we had little butterflies in our palms and little soft fists. So not clenched, but soft fists, like we didn't want to crush the butterfly, of course, but neither do we want the butterfly to get away for the moment. So we're going to, on the inhale, bring our hands up, elbows back like this, and a little bit of a back bend to whatever degree your body can do with any ease. And on the exhale, we're going to bring the elbows and forearms together. Exhale. So here we go. And exhale. This one breathing in and out of the nose. Exhale. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And the next couple of ones, we're going to add on the exhale the sound like a snake. This is the healing sound of the lungs and large intestines and helps to move old stagnant qi out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Shoulder blades dropped away from ears. Exhale. Last time, no sound, just inhaling and exhaling through the nose, sensing and feeling the body. Roll yourself up once again, attune, feel, sense, movement of qi, vibrations, pulsations. Now we're going to do a couple of Qigong flows now that we've helped clear old stagnant qi. We made space. Qi needs space to move. And so we open some space in the meridians. And now let's help move the qi along its pathways. So we're going to exhale, inhale, exhale. Like that, okay? This is called lung polishing. Traces the pattern of a particular type of qi that's very operative in our immune function. So here we go. We're going to go down, out. Palms are flexed, okay, like this. Down, up. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. We're helping strengthen and circulate the qi, the healthy qi, through our system. Lung polishing. It's like we're sealing up our immune function, the shield around us that helps us have good boundaries psychologically and physically, biologically. One more time. Inhale. One last movement. We'll bring the arms out to the side. This is called protective cross. Again, an immunological support. Here we go. Exhaling, inhaling. Exhaling. Again, that sense of drawing a shield that lets in what's good for us and protects us from what isn't good for us, physically, biologically, psychologically. Protective cross. And we'll close by harvesting the qi from this short practice. Inhaling, drawing the fresh qi down through the center. Inhaling, drawing fresh qi down through the center. This is harvesting the qi, recharging our battery and our, it's called the lower danshan or lower energy center. Bring your hands onto your belly. Take a few moments to sense and feel about 20 minutes of Qigong medicine that you have opened yourself to and delivered and been the recipient of. Notice any shifts or changes by feeling and sensing. And then if you feel like for just the last couple of minutes, if you feel like sharing in the chat or coming on mic to say, you can remove my spotlight and just sharing the experience in your body that you noticed in a good, bad, or ugly. There's no way you could do it wrong. So open to hearing anything. What did you notice in your body as we went through, or what do you notice now compared to when we started? Anybody? Tingling sensations, yeah, centered. Yeah. Very woken up, 10 dragons running through the forest, someone like that. Yes, and the tapping is just so awesome. I love the tapping too. So, you know, for anybody that's interested, I teach 3 days a week on Zoom in the morning, and we do a half an hour practice that is tiny bit of, you know, Qigong theory and 98% movement. And we move with the seasons. And if you're interested, I put my email, I think, in the chat. Maybe it didn't go. But also, I think someone said, oh yeah, someone said that Tatiana said she'd send out a little notice to you if you were interested in, it's very affordable. And I just find these movements just so beautiful and fun and safe for people in general. Any questions? Yeah, beautiful, fun, and safe equals what we need. Best time of day to do Qigong? Well, there's different practices that are optimal in the beginning and the end of the day, but so you want to, in general, do things that are more calming to the nervous system. We just did sort of a calming and energizing practice for most people. I'm happy to share, I have a 10-minute bedtime routine of Qigong movements, and I'll send that along with my information about my class. And so what really pay attention to which movements feel soothing and calming for you, and those would be the ones you would do closer to bedtime. Like these kinds of movements with a lot of exhales are really helpful for pre-bedtime, but I'll send you a little routine of that. All right, well, what a pleasure to be with you. Thank you for inviting me to be here. It was really great to hear your presentation, Kiersten also, Kiersten. And that's it for me.
Well, thank you so much, Robin, and thank you, Kiersten. And we will be back next week with another AME. So have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and see you soon.
Bye. Thank you.